What is up? What is up? YouTube, how y'all doing? I couldn't leave y'all on the downstroke. Check it out, man. Rest in peace to Angie Stones. I prayed that it was nothing negative or nothing, no bull with her death in the accident. I was just hoping it was a freak accident and everybody just remembered her and loved her for her music and stuff. But R&B singer Angie Stone has died. Okay. Clive Davis has collapsed in court after hearing his sentence for Angie Stones. I think this is clickbait, man, because how the hell you get sentenced so fast? We ain't even heard about no trial. So wait a minute. But then later on, we did one video, guys, and I'm just like y'all, man. That's why I'm glad y'all. I'm gonna give it to you straight with no chasers. I don't think, at least I hope I don't think. I mean, I hope it didn't happen. I don't think that somebody did say he was arrested though. Is that right? Was he arrested? Shoot, got me all confused over here. You know, if I'm confused, then I know everybody else confused. Shoot. So, long story short, let me fix my stuff up real quick, y'all. Long story short, or short story long. Let's make the short story long. Everybody say long story short. Because I got, here we go right here. I'm noticing, y'all. I'm noticing, guys. The clickbait stuff is where you find where the clues at to help fit in between. Like, you got all these clues, right? You click on this clickbait stuff and you fill up some of these gaps. You might fill up two of them, not this one. But you're going to fill up some of the gaps with the stuff. So I'm telling y'all, man, don't skip over all the clickbait stuff. Man, this is some bull. How the hell? That would have been all over the news, especially his old tail. He old as I don't know what. He's a dude. When you get that old, you don't. But he was. Somebody said that he had that trucking business. He got some ties in that trucking business, like that's his company or something, or he's part owner in that company. I don't know, man. I'm telling y'all, some of the stuff I heard, some of the stuff I think I heard. Maybe I was dreaming it. Was I dreaming it? I don't know. Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's see what this bad boy gonna bring y'all, man. So if it's clickbait, don't blame me. Let's check it out.
Angie Stone has died in a car crash. We're told she had just finished a concert in Mobile, Alabama Friday.
Clive Davis collapsed in court after hearing his sentence for the murder of Angie Stone. At least, that's what the internet says. But how did we get here?
It's still not clear why they crashed or how the other people in the van are doing.
A car crash, a missing memoir, deepfake videos, and years of silence from the biggest names in music. Was Angie trying to expose something before she died? Why did her hard drives disappear? And why is Clive's name now being erased from the legacy he built? This is the story they don't want you to know. Let's begin. The Golden Era. When Clive met Angie. Clive Davis was never just a music executive. He was the kind of man who didn't just sign artists. He engineered legends. Whitney Houston, Janis Joplin, Alicia Keys. The moment he believed in you, your career wasn't just promising, it was inevitable. He ran major labels like Columbia and Arista, and in the process, shaped the very core of American pop and R&B for over 5 decades. His reputation, untouchable. His influence, global. But behind the red carpets and platinum records, the industry has always had a darker side. one that's not just about business. It's about power, control, and sometimes betrayal. And at the center of one of the most mysterious and tragic chapters in his story is Angie Stone. How did one of the most beloved neo-soul voices end up at odds with the man who gave her a shot? What really went wrong between them? And why are people now wondering if Clive Davis is somehow connected to her sudden death? Angie Stone wasn't an overnight success. Before she was making waves in R&B, she was breaking barriers in hip-hop as a member of The Sequence, one of the first female rap groups to sign with a major label in the late 1970s.
1970.
She had history, and most of all, she had a voice that felt ancient and new at the same time. Raw, spiritual, grounded in gospel, but fused with funk and soul. After years of working in the background, writing, singing backup, collaborating, she finally stepped into the spotlight with her debut solo album, Black Diamond, in 1999. Black Diamond wasn't just good, it was haunting, emotional, and unapologetically rooted in black musical traditions. Davis, then leading Arista Records, was the one who gave it the push it needed. No More Rain in This Cloud became an R&B staple, and the album went gold. Davis knew what he was doing. He saw in Stone a chance to revive the old-school soul vibe, but package it in a way that felt relevant for the new millennium. And for a while, it worked. Critics loved it. Fans connected with it. Angie was finally getting the recognition she deserved. Then came J Records. After being ousted from Arista, Davis founded this new label in 2000 with a clean slate and a powerhouse roster. He brought Stone along for the ride. Her second album, Mahogany Soul, released in 2001, was even more ambitious. It featured Wish I Didn't Miss You, a heartbreaking track built around a sample from the O'Jays' Backstabbers. The song was slow, painful, and hypnotic. It didn't top the charts, but it never left the culture. DJs spun remixes. European clubs worshipped it. Soul fans held it sacred. It was Angie at her purest, and some say at her peak. But something shifted. The same man who had helped shape her career slowly started to pull back. As new artists like Alicia Keys skyrocketed under Davis's wing, Stone found herself sidelined. Interviews from years later hint at bitterness, disappointment, even betrayal. She didn't just lose industry support, she felt erased. And while her voice never faded, the spotlight did. So how did this golden era turn cold? Why would a man like Clive Davis, worth hundreds of millions and praised for nurturing talent, ever end up being whispered about in connection to Angie Stone's tragic death? And more disturbingly, was it just a rumor? Or did something truly sinister happen between them that the industry still doesn't want us to know? From career beef to alleged murder. On the morning of March 1st, 2025, Angie Stone passed away at the scene of a car crash just outside Montgomery, Alabama. News outlets labeled it a tragic accident, claiming her vehicle flipped on a wet road and was struck moments later by an oncoming truck. But within hours of the announcement, something unexpected happened. Something that shook the internet. Fans weren't buying the official story. They began asking questions, unearthing videos, and connecting dots in a way that felt more like a digital investigation than just mourning. And what they found, or believed they found, sparked one of the most sensational conspiracy theories in the modern music industry. That Clive Davis, the legendary record executive who once championed Angie Stone, had something to do with her death. The theory sounds outrageous, but it didn't come out of nowhere. People pointed back to years of interviews, red carpet clips, and behind-the-scenes footage. Footage that had long been ignored, but now felt eerie and charged with new meaning. One particular video from a 2023 Vlad TV interview gained over 18 million views in under 2 weeks. In it, Angie sat on a simple black couch, talking candidly about her early days at J Records. The warmth in her voice disappeared as she described feeling shelved, ghosted, and thrown away. She spoke of how Clive Davis, once her biggest supporter, became completely unresponsive when she needed backing for her later projects. "He made it clear I wasn't the priority anymore," she said. Her tone wasn't angry, it was hollow. A few clips from that same interview showed her blinking rapidly, pausing mid-sentence, visibly emotional. "They tell you they love your voice," she whispered, "but they don't love you." At the time, viewers interpreted that as the usual industry heartbreak. But after her death, those words were dissected like coded messages. Some users started uploading slowed-down versions of the video, adding subtitles and grainy effects, making it look like a hidden warning. "Was she trying to tell us something before it was too late?" one video asked. That clip alone got over 3.2 million likes. The theory picked up even more speed when users began reposting older award show appearances and contrasting the treatment Angie received compared to Alicia Keys, who was also under Clive Davis's management. Alicia's debut album, Songs in a Minor, was released through J Records in 2001, just a few months before Angie dropped Mahogany Soul. Both albums were critically acclaimed, but only one received heavy industry backing. Keys won 5 Grammys that year. Angie didn't even get a nomination. Some chalked it up to different genres, different audiences, but others saw something else. A calculated decision by Davis to invest in someone more marketable, younger, and more aligned with pop R&B trends. Angie, with her deeply soulful sound, wasn't part of that formula. It wasn't just awards, promotional budgets, press appearances, even album rollout timing. It all pointed to Alicia being the priority. And as Angie's projects saw fewer resources and less push, she began to disappear from the mainstream conversation. She continued releasing music, and her fan base remained loyal. But it was clear that something had shifted. Clive Davis, the man who once called her a timeless voice, no longer returned her calls. In the music industry, this is known as being shelved, when a label signs an artist, then quietly stops promoting them. It's not illegal, but it's often devastating. What made the silence around Angie's death even more suspicious was how quickly the official story spread, and how little Davis had to say. While tributes from fellow artists poured in, Clive Davis made no public statement for over 3 weeks. When he finally did release one, it was short, impersonal, and read like it was written by a PR team. We are saddened to hear of Angie Stone's passing. She was a talented artist, and we are grateful for the music she shared. That was it. No photo, no memory, no mention of their working relationship. For fans already suspicious, this...
Wow. First of all, I mean, so far, it's a lot of good information in this video, man. And I didn't even think about, like, what type of, what he should have said, or he could have said a whole lot more. But hey, as a business person, Clive, and I'm just saying this, as a business person, Clive looked at her and probably was like, "You're washed up. I know this business. I make money in this business. Alicia Keys is more of a up-and-coming artist. You're going down. I'm not going to invest money into something that's going down. You don't invest in the stock market that's going down. I mean, that's just business, you know." And I'm not saying that she wasn't good, because I was a big fan. I was a very big fan. Pump You Right On Up, and all the latest stuff she was doing was
music
good.
She shared.
It was very good.
That was it. No photo,
Damn,
no memory,
man.
no mention of their working relationship. For fans already suspicious, this only added fuel to the fire. The speculation snowballed. A few mid-level YouTubers uploaded supposed exclusive intel from unnamed sources. One claimed to have worked in legal at J Records in the early 2000s. They alleged that Angie had been warned multiple times not to release a memoir she was working on. Another said the manuscript for that memoir was stolen from her Atlanta home 6 months before the crash. None of these claims were independently verified. But that didn't matter to viewers. In an age of AI-generated screenshots, manipulated voice clips, and fake court documents, what felt true was often more powerful than what was true. Legal analysts explained that no charges had been filed. The Montgomery Police Department ruled the crash accidental. Toxicology reports were clean. No foul play had been officially suspected. And yet, in the court of public opinion, the verdict was different. For many, Clive Davis had become the villain of a story decades in the making. A powerful man who used artists, discarded them, and then erased them when they were no longer useful. Angie Stone's fans began organizing digital memorial protests. Her songs returned to the charts. Her interviews were analyzed frame by frame. And Clive Davis, once seen as untouchable, was now being painted as a shadowy figure in one of the most talked-about deaths in R&B history. Theories flooded forums. Was Angie planning a legal battle? Had she threatened to go public with private emails? Did she have recordings? Proof of betrayal? We may never know. But one thing is clear. The death of Angie Stone didn't just break hearts. It broke the silence. And in doing so, it exposed an industry that thrives on control, silence, and image management. Even if no courtroom charges are ever filed, one simple question remains. Why was Angie Stone treated the way she was? And who benefits from us never getting the answer? Legacy on trial. The court of public opinion. Almost overnight, tributes to Angie Stone flooded TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. But they weren't just emotional send-offs. They were calls to action. Fans created playlists titled Songs the Industry Tried to Bury and Justice for Angie, which quickly began trending on Spotify and Apple Music. Angie's catalog surged in streams, particularly among younger listeners who had previously never heard of her. Wish I Didn't Miss You hit 1 million new plays in under 72 hours.
Damn!
Influencers and musicians alike began sharing clips of her live performances, her award speeches, and her...
Damn! You know what that means, man? Like he said, the younger generation, they know social media, right? And they say, well, shoot, she was in a car crash and we think it's some foul play behind it. Well, let's check out her music. Damn, her music good. Oh, she can sing. Oh, she rocks. I like her. I ain't know nothing about her. Mama, y'all used to listen to her? Daddy, y'all used to listen to her? Man, she was good. What happened? Now everybody is digging deeper and deeper into the drama. Did you see how many...
Catalog surged in streams, particularly among younger listeners who had previously never heard of her. Wish I Didn't Miss You hit 1 million new plays in under 72 hours. Influencers and musicians alike began sharing clips of her live performances, her award speeches, and her interviews, presenting her not just as a great artist, but as a woman who had been systemically sidelined. She did her thing, man.
For so many different people, mainly someone close to your hometown, D'Angelo. I know you got.
The narrative was clear. Angie Stone wasn't just forgotten. She was suppressed.
She did her thing, baby.
Meanwhile, Clive Davis's name began disappearing from the tributes. Artists who had previously cited him in their awards speeches began editing older Instagram posts, removing hashtags that praised him. A handful of producers and writers who had worked under his labels issued carefully worded statements emphasizing their independence. One Grammy-winning artist simply posted, "I see it all now. We were never free," a quote many believed was aimed at Davis. Online, Threads detailed his pattern of promoting artists who were lighter-skinned, more crossover-friendly, or more commercially viable, often at the expense of others with deeper roots in traditional black music genres.
Wow.
Clips of Davis making blunt remarks about market trends began resurfacing. In one panel discussion from the early 2000s,
Wow.
he referred to neo-soul as a genre that doesn't chart. At the time, the comment was interpreted as business-minded and realistic.
Facts.
Now,
right.
it's been recirculated with subtitles like translation. We didn't want to invest in black artists who weren't pop. The clip became a lightning rod. Viewers questioned
Damn.
whether these decisions were rooted in strategy or bias. Was it simply about money, or was it about control? Adding fuel to the fire were unverified reports that Angie Stone had been working on a
Damn,
memoir in the final year of her life.
I wouldn't have never looked at it like that. You right. When you pull back the curtains, you start seeing the snakes. Or is that you supposed to say, when you cut the grass, the snakes will show? When you pull back the curtain, you see snakes. What, Mike? Uncle Mike, sit down. Go upstairs.
2 entertainment gossip pages posted screenshots from alleged email leaks, claiming Angie had titled the project Unheard. While no publisher has confirmed the manuscript's existence, the idea alone was enough to send the internet into speculation mode. Some fans believe the memoir was set to expose years of silence, manipulation, and mistreatment inside J Records. One viral tweet read, "She was about to talk, and then she was gone." Coincidence? No one has provided concrete evidence that the memoir was real, but the mere possibility reframed Angie's death as suspicious in the minds of many. For decades, Clive Davis was the man who made stars. Now, for many, he's the man who may have destroyed one. Whether that's fair or not doesn't matter as much as the fact that this narrative is already in motion. One artist's life cut short, another's legacy falling apart in real time. In the music world, that's a power shift no one saw coming. What Angie left behind, and what happens next. Not long before her death, Angie Stone was reportedly working on something big. According to multiple close friends and collaborators, she had been writing a memoir, privately titled Unheard. The working draft, they claimed, was raw, personal, and unfiltered. It allegedly covered her early days in hip-hop, her rise in neo-soul, and, most explosively, her experiences with J Records and Clive Davis. Some insiders say it wasn't just a memoir, it was a warning. And if that's true, then the silence around Angie's passing takes on a whole new meaning. What if someone wanted that book to never see the light of day? The rumors around Unheard started as whispers but quickly picked up speed. One collaborator, a vocal coach who had worked with Angie in Atlanta, told a music blog that Angie had poured everything into it. She reportedly described it as the project that would set her free. But 6 months before her death, Angie's home was broken into. The thief didn't take jewelry, cash, or electronics. Instead, according to the police report, the only items missing were 2 external hard drives and a notebook from her home studio office.
Damn, man.
The break-in was initially treated as minor and was never linked to anything bigger. But in hindsight, fans have zeroed in on this moment as potentially critical. Why take the drives, and only the drives? Around that time, her longtime personal assistant posted a cryptic Instagram story with no caption. It showed an empty shelf, a broken window, and the text overlay, "They know what they took." The story was only up for 24 hours, but fans screenshotted it and have used it as alleged proof that someone wanted Angie's files gone. Whether it was paranoia, grief, or something more, the assistant has since refused to speak publicly. Then there's the alleged song. A music blogger who covers unreleased R&B projects claimed they were sent a 30-second snippet of a track that has never appeared on any official Angie Stone album. The blogger described it as eerily direct and said the chorus contained the line, "I gave them my soul. They gave me silence." The title of the track, supposedly, was At the Top. There's no audio recording publicly available, and the snippet has never been authenticated. Still, fans took this story and ran with it. Now people are starting to ask, what if it's all true? If even part of the rumors about Unheard are accurate? If there really was a manuscript, if there were files or audio exposing internal label politics, it could change everything. Clive Davis, still honored by the industry, would find himself at the center of not just a public relations crisis, but a cultural reckoning. The implications wouldn't end with him.
Okay, I left Clive because, once again, I was the teacher bringing in all the students.
Other executives, producers, and collaborators named in Angie's files could face civil lawsuits, internal investigations, or even criminal exposure, depending on what those documents contain. This wouldn't just be a scandal. It would be a rupture, a shock to an industry built on image control, legal silence, and behind the scenes, power plays. Fans, artists, and the public at large could begin calling for changes. Legally binding transparency in record deals, new protections for whistleblowers in the arts, even regulation over how artist archives are handled posthumously. One lawyer interviewed by a music news site said that if the stolen hard drives did contain unreleased recordings or contractual evidence, it could open the door to intellectual property disputes and estate-based litigation. That means Angie's family might still have legal grounds to pursue the truth, if they're willing. The cultural fallout would be just as heavy. Clive Davis's name is attached to major tribute shows, biographical documentaries, and award ceremonies. If public opinion tips far enough, institutions may be forced to reconsider how they feature or endorse his legacy. Tribute performances could be pulled. Fellow artists might cut ties. Even the Clive Davis Institute at NYU could face pressure to change its name. And then there's the bigger question. How many other artists were treated like Angie? Already, a few lower-profile musicians have begun posting online about being dropped after one underperforming album, despite solid critical reviews. The industry has always had casualties, but Angie's story reframes these decisions not as mere business missteps, but as intentional erasures. If one artist can be silenced this thoroughly, how many others have been? The idea that Angie left behind files that could unravel decades of music industry politics is both terrifying and thrilling to her fans. For some, it's the final proof of her strength, that even if she was pushed out of the spotlight, she never stopped fighting to be heard. For others, it's a chilling reminder of how easily someone can be erased when they know too much. But everyone agrees on one thing. If the truth is buried in a hard drive, it's time to dig it up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click the next video for more exciting content.
I know one thing, man. Hey, I hands down, I think this the best clickbait video I ever seen. Hey, my bad, y'all. I'm over here trying to do too many things at one time. If I had some help, everybody want to be famous, but don't nobody want to do the work. Why is that? Why everybody want to be famous, but everybody want to be rich? Hey, don't nobody want to do no work. So Uncle Mike got to do all the work by himself, y'all. Check it out, man. Check this out. This thing says Clive Davis collapsed in the courtroom. I ain't seen no courtroom. I ain't seen Clive collapse. I seen him on a couple of news things. And after court hearing and the sentence. What the? This ain't no but I learned a whole lot out of this video. I never even thought about everybody. When somebody pass away, somebody famous, for some reason you get the urge to want to hear their music. Now imagine the younger generation that don't know nothing about no funk you right on up. I'm gonna funk you right on up. And all the stuff she did because they into their little click, bloom, blocker, a little mumble rap, a little mumble rap. They in the mumble rap. They into all that stuff. But they are into social media. See what I'm saying? So now all of a sudden she getting a lot of spins and everything. And oh, come on, man. Now all the spins. Now listen, y'all. Y'all listen now. Now y'all gotta listen to Uncle Mike. All those spins and all that money that these millions of spins is making go to who? Who does it go to? She's gone. Do the kids get the money? Who does the spins go to? Clive Davis, maybe? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all need to think about it, man. I'm trying to tell people to wake up on this music industry, man. That's why it is great to stay independent, but you need promotional help. You need marketing help. You know music. You don't know marketing. You know music. You don't know how to advertise. You barely know music, to be honest. Think about that. It takes a team to make this thing work. But don't be dumb. Don't be dumb. Don't be so dumb that you don't even get a deal. Think about that one. So many people don't even know how the music industry works. Work it. Like Snoop did, for example. You're going to get burnt in the beginning. That's accepted. Then you rise and do your own thing like Dr. Dre or something. Kendrick Lamar and all the other great ones. LL Cool J. Jay-Z fired his partner. We don't know what happened behind that. Partner down here, but he's still doing his thing. Jay-Z way up here with Beyonce. Think about it. You have to take your road and then you build on it. You build on it. You keep building. If you sit there and keep singing and singing and singing and you let everybody else handle stuff, you're going to be just like them. Then you finally start looking through the paperwork and say, they've been stealing from me all this time. Don't do that, man. Be smarter than that. Look here, man. I'm going to get on up out of here. I know one thing. This is opening a lot of people's eyes. I hate the fact that somebody had to die to open up the whole can of worms. These record labels, these major record labels, they out of there, man. You can do it on your own now. And I can help you. So y'all go check out my websites and stuff. Hey, I'm going to get on up out of here. It's past my bedtime. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.